Came to me a little bit quickly there. You see, I was out of sequence in my head there. I kind of just turned around and I realised, quickly, and I just looked round quickly like that. Good morning to you. It's Sunday the 23rd of September 2018. A warm welcome along to Chapel Hill Marina here in Lincolnshire and this morning's United Kingdom talk. I promised, as of last show, right at the beginning of the show, we're going to do the early messages from now on, so that if there's anything wrong, I will know about it, rather than talk for 20 minutes and suddenly realise there's nothing happening. You know, then I look down. So, good morning to Adam the Plumber, who gets the first message in of the morning on Facebook Live. Morning, Adam. Shania's there on the Isle of Wight. Morning, Shania. Shania, I have to say, the Isle of Wight just looks like one carnival after another. There's always a party going on the Isle of Wight. What's all that? Always a parade or a party of some sort going on. Are you involved in all of these things? Is it now the party island of the United Kingdom? Is it like Ibiza? Is it like Ibiza? Or, as the young people go to now, Ayanapa? Ayanapa. I like that name, don't you? Where are you going? Ayanapa. Or the youngsters call it Napa. They take off the Aya. Yes. Is it like the Ayanapa of the UK, the Isle of Wight now? Yes, I think that is the case. I'm sure it is. Certainly better than Torremolinos or somewhere dreadful, ghastly place dear. Or Magaluf. Magaluf. Do you watch that? Magaluf. Maybe Jordan from Magaluf Uncovered or Ibiza. Magaluf Weekender? Ibiza Weekender? Something like that. Maybe Jordan will go there. He could, Isle of Wight Weekender. Yes, I like it, where people go there, and meet other people and get up to all sorts of mischief. Perhaps I could be one of those. I could be one of those. Although doubtful, because yesterday, I had a busy day yesterday, which I'll tell you about in a minute. Yesterday, I went to Boots the Chemist to purchase some new of those, the little, what are they called? Nail clippers. I went to purchase some nail clippers. They all blimmin' fall apart, don't they? You know that little thing, the little pin at the end, it drops out, and then you try and put it back together. I can never get the thing to work again, so I have to go and buy another pair. Only £2.50 each time. I bought 3 pairs. One for the car, one for my little wallet, and one for at home. I should actually bring one for in here as well, into our Lincolnshire television studio complex. Yes, I should. But they fall apart in the end, don't they, those nail clippers? Most annoying. Anyway, so I did that in Boots yesterday, among other things, which I'll tell you about in a minute. And later on in the day, I decided to fill the survey out. On the receipt, at the top, win a mini iPad just by filling in this. So I thought, I'll give it a go. Someone has to win. I often hear people tell me stories about how they've won this or they've won that or something else like that. And I fill in these. I never win a damn thing. No, that's a lie. Years and years ago, when I was maybe 17, 18, something like that, I didn't do it, but my mum entered a competition at the Odeon Cinema in Richmond and won tickets for us to see Bambi. Da 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 da. For the one I love. No, that's the wrong one, isn't it? What's the Bambi tune? Oh, it's sad. It's sad. Poor little Bambi gets shot. I think it's shot. Or is it his mum? I can't remember now. But we love Bambi. And we won tickets for that. And I don't know who I went with. I think I went with my sister, actually. Can't remember now. Bambi, that was years and years ago. I never won anything else. Not even Barry Manilow tickets. My friend, Rachel Davis, won Barry Manilow tickets last time she entered a competition. Front row! I paid 600 quid for those before. Bleed now. Some people have all the luck. So good morning, Shania. Perhaps I'm a little bit too... Yes, that's it. So I'll come back to the survey. So I'm filling in a survey. You're going so far. Is there anyone that you'd like to mention in particular? Yes, the doorman was very nice. And what did you think of the cleanness of the store? That was okay. Were you served quickly? Yes, and all that business. And then it comes to the last bit. Are you male or female? I thought about this one. Because maybe in these, if you're a Guardian reader or swinging very hard to the left, you may decide today that you want to be a man or a woman or a small child or an elephant, or perhaps a snake or a mouse. Even perhaps you'd like to be a stick of celery. You will identify as you want. You can identify... What a load of old crap here. You can identify as anyone you want. And I thought male, female. And I thought to myself, why doesn't it say stick of celery? I want to identify today as a stick of celery. I don't know why. I just felt the need to. Just felt the need to. But nevertheless, I ticked male in the end. So that was okay. Then it comes down to the bit underneath it. Age range. Under 18. 18 to 29. 29 to 35. Oh my God. And I'm going through this. I'm the second one to the bottom now. It goes, duh, 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 and I'm there, duh, and there's only one after me. What happens to that? What happens after that? 55 to, what is it, 54 to 75, and then it said 75 plus. I'm the one above the one at the bottom, which I found shocking. That's what you get for filling out those silly surveys. Anyway, I will let you know if I win the mini iPad, which is extremely unlikely. Apparently they do a draw every week. They keep giving away this. That's why the prices are so expensive. They're giving away this stuff left, right and centre. Incidentally, I just want to point out I have no mini iPads to give away. None at all. Second one to the bottom, honestly. What about you? Where are you? Where are you, Shania? I bet you're still at the top somewhere, aren't you? No, 18 to 24. Is your brother's even less than that? Below it, isn't he 17? Your brother up to 18. He's right at the top. I'm the second one down from the bottom, or the first one down from the bottom, whatever you want to call it. Awful. Good morning to Roy Brownlow. Welcome along. First inbound to Ynnick. You're not first, Roy. Oh, you've got to be a bit more on the ball than that, dear. Adam the plumber. Look. 1, 2, 3. 3 people before you this morning. Call yourself a fan, honestly. Morning to Brendan Brady fan. Over on the YouTube. Alan Russell's there on Facebook Live, who's at the Holiday Inn at Wigan, who's got a darts tournament this afternoon. I didn't know you played darts, actually, Alan. Something I'm not very good at. I'm not real interested in darts or tennis or football. I've never been interested in sport, really. I do swimming. I do cycling. I did a little bit of jogging the other day. Yes, only for about a minute and a half, because I haven't done that for years. I thought, I fancy taking up jogging again, so I might do that. Just go for a little walk, and at first you can only jog like about a minute at a time. Now, last time, I must admit, it did muck my knees up, so I might be asking for trouble. But I fancied a little jog. I was actually coming back from the bins. I walked my bin stuff over, and interestingly, Alan, I thought about you while I was taking my rubbish to the bins, because where I am, I'm probably the furthest. No, I don't think I am, actually. I'm not the furthest person away from the bins, but it's about a 5 to 10 minute walk from here to the bins. So I've got my bags and I'm walking to the bins. And I thought about you, Alan, and I'll tell you why I thought about you. Where I am at the moment here in Lincolnshire, I'm in beautiful countryside, as you know. And I felt, this was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 1 o'clock in the afternoon yesterday, and I felt completely and utterly safe walking to the bins. I could have done it with my eyes closed, completely happy that nothing would happen to me. Could you do that where you live in Hackney? You couldn't, could you? And it's just awful. It really is how yourself and some people, I know you had, Alan had his bike nicked recently, at knife point, I have to add, while he was cycling home from a pub the other night from King's Cross to Hackney along a canal. Some youths jumped out on him with a knife and took his bike, pushed him off the bike and nicked it. Give me your bike type of thing, Awful. Awful. And even during the daytime though, you get these stories of people being... Did you hear that? What on earth was that? I don't know what that was. I just heard a beep. What was that? What can be making a bleeping noise in here? I have no idea what that was. Isn't that strange and mysterious? Anyway, or is it? It's not a flat battery at all, is it, anywhere or anything? No. Very strange. Anyway, And even during the daytime, sort of Hackney, all round there, you've got to keep your eyes open all the time, haven't you? For stuff going on around you. Here, nothing. Just you feel just totally and completely safe. And I was saying to my mate, you know, it's just a shame because a lot of people, I think including yourself, Alan, you're just stuck there. You can't get out of it somehow. I don't know how you get out of that. Really don't. So my heart goes out to you there, but I felt completely safe walking to the bins. Anyway, so I walked to the bins and I thought, well, do you know, I'll have a little jog back. And I did. And I thought, well, you'll probably manage about 20 seconds like that. No, I actually jogged for about a minute and a half, which isn't bad since I haven't done it for about 7 or 8 years now. And I don't go mad, you know, just a gentle jog. I think I might like to take that up again because we've got some wonderful places around here to jog. I tell you, along the river, there's a very, very long road. It goes down for 8 miles, this road. The road coming here is extremely bumpy, like that. It's like this all the way down. It's tarmac, but it's not flat at all. And you can't, there's like a 50-mile-an-hour limit. You can't do 50. Maximum 40, and on parts of the road where it goes like that, you can see the road has been scraped where a car's obviously gone too fast, come back down and scraped its undercarriage on the road, which probably isn't very good for the car there. So enjoy your jarts there this morning, Alan. Okay, let's ho. John Parrish. Good morning, John. Any gays in? There's no gays here, dear. We're all real men here, John. Didn't you know that? There's no gays here, only real men. Good morning to my nephew, Gary Butler. A very good morning to you, Gary. He's on holiday at the moment, and I'm going to join him tomorrow at Primrose Valley Holiday Park, Haven Holidays in Yorkshire, where I'm going tomorrow. I'm very, very much looking forward to that. We've got 4 days in Yorkshire with my nephew, his wife Stacey, and great niece Olivia, great nephew Harry, and great niece Evie, who will once again, no doubt, drag me into sweet shops, begging for more sweets. Oh dear. Hello to Abdirizak. Good morning to you, sir. I haven't seen you for a while. Hope you're well there. Hayla. Good morning, Hayla. Salam to you. Lots of new people there joining us this morning. Nag Yuen. Morning to you. There's Wendy. Good morning, Wendy. Barry Manilow correspondent. Barry Manilow correspondent. Ray Reynolds, senior citizen Ray Reynolds says, have a good time in Yorkshire. Thank you very much, Ray. I appreciate that. Roy says, did I miss my award announcement for free prize? There's no free prizes, dear. Just fill in one of those things at Boots the Chemist next time you're in there, and you might win a mini iPad. I wonder what little box you'll have to tick. Are you on the 74 and above, Roy? Lilybeth. Hello, Lilybeth. Good morning, Lilybeth. The background here, Lilybeth, I don't think you've been with us for a while, that's actually a real picture, which is 4 minutes walk from here. I go up 4 steps, and that's there. And that's that. So this is exactly where I am. That was the whole idea of doing that picture at the back of there, all right? Good morning to Merlin. Hello, Merlin. Merlin pitched up at the karaoke on Friday night. He didn't sing, but he's got some wonderful friends, actually. One in particular I get on with, what's his name? Ricky. He's hilarious. Ricky is such a laugh, isn't he? Ricky, isn't it? Is it Ricky who came and sung 2 songs, performed 2 songs, didn't sing, he performed 2 songs. There's a big difference between just singing, you know. Some people, they come and sing a song, and it might be in tune, and you might have all the words right, but you're about as interesting as a used piece of toilet paper. You really are. You know, no, he performs it. Ricky performs la 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 like that. We've got to do it with flair, dear. I've said this before. There's nothing worse than seeing someone bland and boring on the television or on a stage somewhere, or listening to them on the radio. There's a few of them on the radio. Bland, boring people. God's sake, who everything is perfect. In fact, it's so perfect, it's bloody boring, dear. Come on, get a bit of flair in it. Thank you, Lily. I'm glad you like that behind us there. All right. Roy says, am I a fan? The doctor said it was a stalker, not a fan. Fan, stalker, whatever. Good morning to Mari. Morning to you, Mari. She's with us live this morning. Morning, Mari. No music and chat show tomorrow. In fact, this is the last live show, probably until Friday. Okay, I'll be back with you live on Friday. I hope to be able to do a couple of little recorded shows, which I'll be uploading to my Facebook, facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK, or youtube.com/Chris Reardon UK. If everything goes all right, we'll hope to upload a couple of family type little videos for that. All right, my darlings. Okie doke. So I turned on. I actually had. I've got a video light, right, and I thought, well, I'll set that up this morning. I'll see if that improves the light in here, because I'm aware I'm in front of a window. Now, although I've got the curtains closed, they're like light-coloured curtains. So when the sun comes out, suddenly I go all bright. Now, I've switched an automatic setting thing on the camera, which has improved it slightly, but it's still not that good. So I've got a video light, and I set it all up, and I can't find a bloody battery anywhere, could I? Because it doesn't plug in. It's like a rechargeable battery thing. I'm looking everywhere for this battery. I've gone in the car, I've gone in my computer bag, everywhere. I couldn't find it anywhere. Eventually, I found it on the thing, and it was plugged into the recharging thing. Oh, right, okay. So I come in here, plugged it in, put the thing on, put it out there, nothing's happening. Battery's flat. Oh, God's sake. Blooming battery was flat, so that isn't on this morning. Let me tell you, a flat battery once cost me 100 quid. Yes, I've got this little recording device, which I've had for years. I don't think it's working anymore, but a few years ago, I couldn't get it to come on. And I sent it, I kid you not, I sent it away, and it came back after being charged. It was about 100 quid, something like that. And there was a little note in there: removed battery, cleaned up connectors, okay, replaced connectors, tested all okay. I thought, fantastic. And I'm trying to turn this, and it wouldn't come on. Kept turning this thing on, wouldn't come on. So I then rang him up, and thank you very much, sir, you've just done a repair for me. I can't turn it on. And he said, oh, have you put a new battery in? Oh, right. Do I need to put a new battery in? He said, well, yeah. The other one was corroded. Oh, right, okay. All right, thanks very much then. I put the phone down, put the new battery in, and straight away it started working. And then it suddenly dawned on me that the battery in this must have been just dead when I sent it off. And yeah, okay, so the little connectors might have been corroded, but I bet if I'd have opened that, so I would have seen it corroded, I would have cleaned it myself with a little bit of sandpaper, put a new battery in, it would have worked. Cost me 100 quid, that mistake, didn't it? Never mind. Good morning to Coco Bungie. You're with us live as well this morning. Coco Bungie is in the house. I love that name. Morning to you on the YouTube. So there's no video light. I was watching, what was it? I think it might have been, yeah, it was the BBC News. BBC News this morning. And they were talking about, it's the last episode tonight of that excellent BBC One colour drama, The Bodyguard. It's on tonight. I'm hoping tonight, is the Home Secretary dead or anything like that? We will find out tonight. Did David, is it Bunt? David Bunt? I can't remember what his name is now. Was it him? And they were talking about the show, and an expression was used that I haven't heard for ages. Duffed up. Do you remember that expression? Duffed up, when you go and duff someone up. Yeah, we duffed him up, mate. We duffed him up. You never hear that anymore, do you? Like expressions and things like that. So I'm very much looking forward to watching that tonight at about 9 o'clock. And it was a thing on, it was either on Twitter or The Guardian or both of them, something like that. I wouldn't have seen it. I don't read The Guardian. It's just so blooming left-wing, it's unbelievable. It just annoys me, that paper. And they're bloody full of it, aren't they? The Guardian writers, don't they? Bleed and love themselves, full of self-righteousness. And I think it might have been on the Twitter, and they were talking about The Bodyguard and how it's not correct. Like it's not, that's not how it's done. If you're a bodyguard, that's not how you'd be. Oh, really? Yeah, and they start picking it apart. Now, to be fair, it's not just the Bodyguard they do that with. They do this with a lot of things, either dramas or things on the telly like that, and then they start picking it apart. You know, oh, well, you know, if you was a bodyguard, you wouldn't have done that, and they wouldn't have done... And I'm like, you know, are you sure? Are you sure about this? Why can't you just... And this is a big bugbear of mine. It's also the case when people come and watch drag queens or DJs or karaoke or anything like that, if you're doing that job, and they just sit there and pick it all apart, rather than allowing themselves to just sit there and be entertained, because that's what it is. It's an entertainment programme on the television. You know, and films, even people sit there watching, and you see, you know, when a new film comes out or something like that. I don't know, the latest Harry Potter film or something like that. And you'll be sitting there and you'll watch this film and you've had a good time, you know, went to watch the film, and you sat there and you allowed yourself to be entertained. And people don't allow themselves to be entertained a lot of the time anymore. They sit there and, well, the film was all right, but did you notice how Harry's hair was a little bit longer on one side or the other? And did you notice how, what's her name, Halloumi, can't remember her name. Did you notice that one of her eyes was slightly wonky? Or did you notice how the other one, he had two left shoes on or something like that? How can you sit there and just look for things that are wrong? There's people that watch this show and love to point out something that's wrong. You never hear from them, not like you lot that are joining in this morning. You generally don't say anything, but there might be, I don't know, maybe the second hand of the clock has fallen off or something like that, or I might have a collar, you know, I might have like slightly up like that, you know, and I'll sit here and I'll do all this material, 200 news stories, I'll sit here, tell you about this, that and the other, and what I've been doing, and then someone will say, oh, your collar's out of place. Why can't people just sit there and be entertained? And this was going on while we were talking about the Bodyguard earlier. Even on the BBC News, so they were talking about the show, and then they had someone who had been the bodyguard of Theresa May when she was Home Secretary, who said that, well, we don't really do it like that. This is what we do. Oh, really? Oh, surprise, surprise. La 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 la. No, just please. You miss so much. Just allow yourself to sit there and be entertained rather than pulling everything apart all the time when you go to the cinema. It's just, it's sad. It really is sad, some people. Oh, did you see Star Trek? Did you see one of the lights wasn't working on the Enterprise? How pathetic are you to sit there and notice that? Really. Some messages. Paul Mosley in Birmingham. Good morning to Paul. Now, I could understand Paul criticising films and things like that because there's nothing else to do in Birmingham. You know, there's nothing else. I think most of the residents of Birmingham spend most of their time climbing up over that ghastly Selfridges building and polishing it. There must be people having to polish that thing all the time. How annoying is that? Thank you, Paul. Morning to Roden. Good morning, Roden. Yes, one of our wonderful karaoke singers. Morning to you, sir. Merlin, I love The Guardian. It makes a great alternative to cat litter. You're absolutely right, Merlin. Paul, don't get me started on The Guardian. The Owen Jones. Oh, Owen Jones, please shut your bloody mouth. On and on and on. I can't bear people that talk on and on for no reason at all about nothing that's interesting. He goes on and on, and you can't shut him up. Have you seen him in an interview? Oh, please. And he's too young. Get back in your mother's womb and come out 10 years later, please. God, so you're too young to be on the telly. We want someone with a bit of experience behind them. It's like this bloke who's the bloke running France? What's his name? Macron. You know, very young and pretty. Too young to be running a country. If you're running a country, I think you should be over 60 years old. You need a bit of experience behind you, I reckon. Roy, morning, Roy. Ask your bodyguard that works part-time quiz. I haven't got a bodyguard, unfortunately. Perhaps I should have one. Do you think I need a bodyguard? Would you like to be my bodyguard, Roy? Hello to Mr. SRS Gregorian. Good morning from church. I can't watch now. You haven't got me on in church. Shh. What will the priest say? What church do you go to, Mr. Gregorian. Oh, do you go to the... Is there an Armenian church? Is that a Christian church? What sort of church do you go to? Do let us know. Be interested in that. So that's The Bodyguard. And then I was watching this other programme then, just before I was having breakfast. Maybe on Channel 4, Sunday Brunch, would it be? Sunday Brunch? And the BBC film bloke was on there. Now, what's his name? Mark someone or other. And he's often on the BBC criticising films and talking about them. And I've got to say, BBC, the Channel 4 Sunday Brunch, not a programme I found. I've never seen it before. So there's these two blokes that sit at the end. And I don't know, there was something missing. There was something missing in it. And they were kind of having digs at this BBC film bloke all the time. And I found out something that I never knew. You've heard, of course, critics talking about films and plays and shows and that sort of thing. Apparently, according to that BBC film bloke, Mark, is it Warhol? Would it be Warhol? Is that his name? Mark. According to him, bad criticism of films makes no difference whatsoever to the box office takings. Did you know that? According to him, anyway. So if you go around, bloke goes on the telly, radio, whatever, writes in the newspaper, have just been to see the new Star Trek film, absolutely awful. It makes no difference at all to box office takings. So why do they bother? Just pack up your cases and go home. What are critics anyway? Fouled entertainers. That's what they are. They can't entertain, so they criticise everyone else. That's what all that's about. Morning to Robbie Stedman. Morning. Thank you very much, Robbie. Now, Robbie, I saw a little post from you that you weren't going to be so colourful in your outfits because of what other people have said. Now, listen, don't take any notice. Do what you want. If you've got colourful outfits to wear, people will like them. Ignore the haters. That's what you've got to do. Ignore the haters. Now and again, I get some hate stuff on there. I've got a couple of moderators on the YouTube now. I think Paul's one of them, aren't you, Paul? So we just get rid of haters now. We can't be bothered with them. Pointless trying to win them over. You never will. They are on this planet to only hate everyone and everything. So don't bother. You want to wear colourful clothes? Go out and wear colourful clothes. Can I just show you my new tracksuit bottoms? Do you mind? Look at this. You'll like this. Because I don't wear trousers while I'm... What's the point of wearing trousers while I'm sitting there? You can't see. Yeah, look, you'll love these. Look at these. I'll have to stand on my chair with it. Look, red. Aren't they fantastic? From Gap. Only 20 quid. Look, Gap. This programme is sponsored by Gap. Oh, yes. My new... my new red tracksuit bottoms. I don't know if great nephew Harry is going to like these because he doesn't like my red trainers. I've got bright red Ralph Lauren trainers. Bought them last year because they'd just gone out of fashion. You must have noticed a couple of years ago everyone was walking around with bright red trainers. Okay, but they were like 140 quid then. They just went out of fashion. Bang, 30 quid in the Ralph Lauren shop, and I bought a pair which I wear. My great nephew Harry is 4 or 5. He absolutely hates them. I walked into his house and hello, Chris, what have you got on? And he looked down at my shoes. And then on the next visit, I didn't have them on the second visit. The first thing he did as I walked in was look down at my feet. I saw him do it. He hates them. So I think I've got a feeling he's going to hate these trousers even more. So I shall make sure I wear them. Absolutely. Paul says, how rude, Chris. Birmingham Sport, you Rusty Lee and UB40. I love Rusty Lee. What a wonderful... I'd love to meet Rusty Lee. Maybe go out for a cup of tea. What a wonderful... We would have a hilarious time. Now, I'm no good at doing what's known as double headers. So you have two people in the studio. I never feel comfortable having two people in the studio at the same time. But Rusty Lee would be someone I reckon we could do something. I do. Rusty Lee, what a wonderful person. She's just so warm, isn't she? So warm. Certain people are really warm. Other people are ice cold, like Kay Burley on Sky News. Who would ever want to go round to her house Oh, you'd have to have great big fake fur coats on, wouldn't you? Eh? Because of Earth's cold, icy stairs, yes. Morning, Adrian Richardson. Bit late, dear. God's sake, man. We've been sitting here for 40 minutes talking. Can't be with you at the Design Museum of London. Oh, is it the Design Museum of London? Trying to be intelligent and look at the cake shops. Oh, yeah, go straight to the cake shop. Funnily enough, I was talking about cakes last night with my mate on the phone while I was on the way to work. And we were talking about cakes. We go to Hamleys every year for our Christmas shopping, although I can't see me buying so much there this time. All my great nieces and I think 1, 2, 3, 4 of my the older ones, 4 of my great nieces and great nephews are really into Lego at the moment. And because I am a member of Legoland, I have my annual pass. They have a massive Lego shop within Legoland. So I can go up there with my card, get in there, and I'll probably get the Lego from in there, I would imagine. But we'll still go to Hamleys because that's like a day out. That's our Christmas shopping day out. So round about second week in December, we take a day. We go to Hamleys toy shop, and also we go to John Lewis and places like that and have a look around at all the Christmas stuff and the lights and what have you. And it's a lovely day out, actually. But after we've done our Hamleys shopping, we go to the top floor and we have tea and cakes. On the first time, we've done it, I think this is 3 times so far, so this will be the 4th year we've done it. And on the first time we had it, we had the cup of tea, and then I had this rainbow cake. Not angel cake, rainbow cake. It's like green, red, blue, yellow, with icing on the top. And it was only there the first time. And it was absolutely a big slice and all. Big, so we have the cake while we're there. And funnily enough, where that is situated, also around that area are all the sweets. And there's a little area where they make lollies and that, like or from sugary stuff. It looks like glass. I don't know what you call it. It looks a bit like glass. So they've got this red coloured stuff, and he's mixing all this up, making lollipops and things like that. And you can have them made to order with like someone's name on it. I can't remember how much they are though. That'd be quite a nice thing actually, to get my great nieces and great nephews as a little additional present at Christmas. So a lollipop with their name on it, like Harry or, you know, George or probably baby James might be a bit too small for those, or Olivia, because Olivia unfortunately can't eat anything. She is fed with a little tube in her stomach. So unfortunately you can't buy her anything like that. But yes, so the others could. Oh, mind you, I could still get it, and she could like have it, you know, as a thing. Do you see what I mean? Just as a thing, although not to be eaten. Roy is going to... Oh, that's just jumped up there. Why did that jump up there? One moment, please. There we are. Roy's going to see Elvis Engelbert and a guy called Rick Sheenan, Brill Impressionist, next week. Who needs moaning Manilow? Moaning Manilow? He don't moan, dear. He sings. Oh, he did moan. Actually, he did moan. He swore on the last show. Someone upset him, dear. She kept videoing everything. I don't know what it was, sitting at the front. Someone was videoing everything and he got annoyed with it. He swore. A very exciting moment it was. Elvis Engelbert. Now, I've heard of Elvis Engelbert. I've heard that name before. Coco Jumbo. Coco Bungee. I don't care what colour shoes I buy. If I don't like them, then I dye them. Very good idea. Morning, Thomas. Morning, Thomas. He's on the Vaughan Live. Welcome along to the show. Robbie, I'm still going to do the colourful outfits, but my career will take a priority check out of my star now, which I've shared on Facebook. Well, good luck to you. You carry on, my friend. You wear the most... I like colourful. There's nothing worse than dull. As I said before, just 10 minutes or so ago, there are so many dull people in this world. A lot of them are stuck on the same because they look pretty, but they're dull. They are dull. We don't like dull. I don't like dull walls. That's why I had my caravan painted green and blue. The green living room. I don't know if you've seen that at all, have you? My mate, someone said the other day, can we have a tour of your caravan? I said, well, I've done one. I did one when I first came here. And he said, yeah, but you haven't done one since it was decorated. So I might do that. I might do a little recorded show for you. okay, of the caravan and the different colours in there. Paul, Rusty Lee lives by me. You often see her in town. She's the same off camera. You can hear her a mile off. I should think she is as well, Paul, yes. We love Rusty Lee. I used to love her in the morning. It's going back 20 odd years, though, isn't it? Since she was on Good Morning Britain. Was it Good Morning Britain she used to be on? Or This Morning with Richard and Judy? I can't remember now. I can't remember what she was on now. Ray Reynolds, from tomorrow, Sky Television have changed the title of 2 p.m. until 5 p.m. as the Kay Burley Show. Have they really? They're fighting back as BBC News changed their afternoon coverage to Simon McCoy's afternoon show. Copy, 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 cook, 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 dance, dance, dance. Yes! Simon McCoy. We quite like Simon McCoy. His jokes are horrendous. They're as bad as yours, Ray. They're not quite as bad as David's, our friend David. But they're pretty bad, Simon McCoy. But he got something very likeable, Simon McCoy, on Sky News, which oh, my chair won't go back. Oh, that happened before. Why won't that go back? I can't lean back. I'm sort of bolt upright this morning, aren't I? Never mind. Thomas, good to know you what you like. Thank you, Thomas. Roy, as a Cockney, you've lost the king of the Cockneys. Chaz and Dave. Yeah, we've lost Chaz, haven't we? His songs were incredibly popular when I was doing mobile discos in the 80s. There was all... I've got any Chaz and Dave, mate? And it would be usually Ain't No Pleasing You or Rabbit, Rabbit, Rabbit. What was the other one? Anyone want to name some more Chaz and Dave songs? They were always being asked for at weddings and birthdays and things like that, Chaz and Dave. So, and 71, which is quite young, isn't it? Do we know what he died of? Oh, Chaz. My mate, actually, he... I haven't spoken to him for some time now. But he tried to book Chaz and Dave, and it was something like £500 a song or something. It was really expensive. I remember him telling me that some years ago. But of course, you know, they are stars, so they can charge that sort of money, can't they, really, I suppose. A caravan tour and outside too. Okay, well, I'll do that. I'll do you a little caravan tour at some point, okay? I might even have, I don't know, I might even have time to do that today. I'll have to see. Paul, GMTV, yeah, she was on, yes. Old Rusty Lee, wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, Paul wants a caravan tour as well. So there we are. Good. Yesterday, I did weigh myself yesterday. I promised you I'd weigh myself yesterday morning. And I'm 12 stone 6.8 at the moment, which... surprised me, to be honest. I was a bit bad with the ice cream again last week. But Friday and Saturday, Thursday and Friday and Saturday, and so far today, I'm bang on the slimming world. And my weight's come back down again. I expected it to be, because last time I weighed myself, I was 12 stone 7. So it's dropped down a little bit to 12 stone 6.8. I'm on holiday, of course, next week. I'll try and be careful. You know, even though you're having the occasional ice cream here, which you don't normally have, there's no reason I can't stick to my normal Slimming World meals. Unless, of course, I go out. I expect we'll go out a couple of times and have some chips or something like that. But as long as you're not doing it all the time, you know, it's damage limitation, really. But I want to try and get back down to that 12 stone thing. Morning to Steve Murray. Morning, Stevie. Came along to the karaoke and in fine voice as well last Friday. Just a reminder, boys and girls, I'm not at the karaoke this Monday. It'll be my friend Waynie M who will be hosting the karaoke, and he does a good job. Okay, he won't let you down. So Waynie M, 7:30 till 11 o'clock on Monday night. Okay. Ray says Chaz was 74. He had throat cancer, did he? Right. Okay. Did he smoke, or was it just working in smoky atmospheres for all those years? You know, I did worry about that actually, because I did smoke. About 28 years ago, I think I gave up. But you know, you can't really say you gave up if you're working in smoky atmosphere all the time. This is what happened to Roy Castle. You remember, Roy Castle died of, I think it was throat cancer, and that was, he never smoked. That was due to working in smoky atmospheres. And I don't know if it was like in the head or something like that, but certainly towards the end of the period of time that we were all everyone was smoking in bars and clubs, I noticed it more and more, and I was hating going to work. to the point of actually thinking about doing another job so that I wouldn't have to work in smoky atmosphere. But then the band came in and everything was fine after that, wasn't it? Thank you. Roy Chaz also had organ failure after a cancer operation. Ah, yes. Yeah, you can be a bit unlucky sometimes on the operating table, can't you? I remember someone who used to be a DJ, Steve... Oh, he was at Radio London, Steve Walsh. Steve Walsh, and he was a very, very big lad. Very, very big lad. And he was on holiday, I think Spain or somewhere like that. And he hurt his leg and he went in for an operation, broke his leg or something like that. He went in for an operation on his leg and died on the operating table of a heart attack. We think probably caused by the weight, you see. You know, that by the weight he already had there. So, you know, you can be a bit unlucky sometimes on the operating table. Poor old Adrian is walking around. He can't find the cake shop. Oh, don't go into a Tesco's Extra or a Sainsbury's Local and buy a packet of cakes. That's not the same, mate. Don't go in there and buy a Mr. Kipling packet of apple pies. You won't enjoy it. Now, you're going to have to keep walking, keep looking for a proper cake shop with homemade cakes. I could send my sister around. Have you got? What's your address? I'll send her around. Thomas H. Off topic, but I'm finding it very difficult to find anyone that's genuine. What, telling you what, you know, what how it is, so to speak. Yeah, I find that a bit, to be honest, as well. It's difficult finding genuine people on the telly now, and there's genuine people on the television. You know, genuine, some come across as genuine, some don't they? I have to say, going back to the news stories again, Simon McCoy comes across as very genuine, doesn't he? He's very likeable and chatty. I like you to think that I'm quite genuine. I will tell you how it is. You know, sometimes people don't always like my opinions or even my humour. What I have a wicked sense of humour, as anyone will tell you. A wicked sense of humour. But some people also would say that is stuck in the past. You know, and where I've made jokes of whatever before, and people say, that's really inappropriate. Well, it wasn't when I was a kid. It wasn't inappropriate when I was a kid, and it wasn't meant to offend anyone when I was a kid. If you are offended by something I've said, then it's your problem and not mine, because there was no offence intended. And that's how I feel about that. And I'm not going to change. I'm not going to change. And I do get very annoyed with people who seem to think that everyone who's sort of over 50 and has lived through the 70s is a bigot and a racist and very inappropriate. How dare you tell me how I should have been in when I was a child? How dare you? The fact that you're not the same now is either here or there. You know, that really upsets me. That gets me very angry. That, you know, and almost like your whole childhood is one big offence or whatever. But there you go. Things move on, don't you? You don't. If you don't like them, fine, and that's it. But I like to think that I'm pretty genuine, and I will just tell you how it is. I think that's better to tell people how it is. There we are. Where are we now? Vaughan Live. Yeah, Thomas on Vaughan Live. There we are. I Found Lovin'. Thank you, Roy. That was the one from Steve Walsh. I Found Lovin'. Of course, the Fatback Band did it first, didn't they? And Steve Walsh kind of done his own little thing on it. You what? Oh, great. Steve Walsh. Wonderful. He used to do the BBC Radio Soul Nights Out with Tony Blackburn at various places in London. Incidentally, that is back again. The BBC Radio London Soul Night Out is on November the 14th, I think, at Coco's in Camden. And I'll certainly be going to that, hopefully see some of my childhood stars on the day. We're hoping, I think, Alexander O'Neill and David Grant and Jackie Graham. We are hoping for those three, but we haven't got any names yet, okay? Just a moment. Where's Adrian? That not funny. What's the serious problem, Adrian? Oh, I've lost the... Let's have a look here. I cannot find the cake shop. Oh, it's the cake shop. Adrian's having a... Adrian, where are you? Perhaps someone who's watching the show can direct you to the nearest cake shop. Tell us where you are. Thank you, Thomas. That's very kind of you to say that. Paul, all these double acts are disappearing now, like Chaz and Dave, Chuckle Brothers. There isn't any double acts left at all now, not even Ant and Dec are together. Yeah, you see, Ant and Dec, I've seen Dec on his own now, and he can carry it. And now that I know that he can carry it, the Ant and Dec thing, yeah, it's all right, but it's not Morecambe and Wise, is it? It's not the two Ronnies. It's not Lauren Hardy. But then again, that may be because I'm stuck a little bit in the past. Do you think? I am aware of that. I do see the past, perhaps with rose-tinted spectacles. Oh, I tell you how wonderful the 70s was. Well, we seem to forget that we had blackouts and lack of power and things like that, and no central heating. There was no central heating or anything like that in the 70s, was there? And yet, I can look back on that and think, what a wonderful childhood I had. Then again, I had great parents. I can sit here and I cannot tell you of one single incident that my parents ever let me down. Now, who can say that? I'm sure some of you would say the same, but some of you would not have had such a good childhood through for whatever reason. But I was very, very lucky. Not one single occasion can I tell you that my parents let either my sister or myself down. Bridget and Gerald were their names. Bridget Reardon and Gerald Reardon were my parents. Unfortunately, too long ago to have much on them on the internet, except for the stuff I've put on myself. It was I Found Lovin'. 1987 was I Found Lovin'. Wonderful. Thomas, how dare they generalise us? Well, they do, Thomas. How old are you, Thomas? Are you sort of an age there? I'm not quite sure how old you are, Thomas. Ray Reynolds is correct. Ding! Ding. Thomas is an individual. Thank you very much. Yes, you are. Excellent. I'm sure you are, Thomas. Thomas is a genuine person, who had parents as solid as a rock. Yeah, isn't that fantastic? And Thomas also is 50 plus years. I think, yeah. I tell you what, when I used to do the shows and the DJing and all that, I think I tried to bring in the younger people to the show, and I just gave up in the end. It's just impossible. I think perhaps at times you're working to the wrong audience. Do you see what I mean? It's so easier to try and talk to people your own age. It is, isn't it? You try and have a conversation with, I don't know, a 20-year-old who isn't a member of your family. The opening conversation. Try to have a conversation with like a 20-year-old that you've never met before. You'll be just, go away. It's like that. Go away. And yet, when I'm walking around here on this caravan site, most people are of an age here, and we walk past each other's caravans. I don't know who they are. Hello there. Yeah, just say hello. And conversations just start from that. It is much easier to talk to people your own age, but you try. There's my sister. See, that's Sharon Butler. That's my sister. She joins us this morning. Good morning, sis. Morning. Is it going to rain today, Sharon? Can you check that? I might just jump on my bike and cycle over to you today. I know it's an hour, but I feel the need to do some exercise today. Bit of exercise this morning. Are there any pictures of my parents? Not on here, no. I'll get a couple on a show soon for you. Okay, and I'll pull them up. I don't know if you're on my Facebook, Steve. Facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK. You'll find loads of pictures there. All right. I love riding my bike, Thomas. I really love riding my bike. Club culture took over at the weddings and parties we used to do. Well, yes, they did, Ray. Ray Reynolds and myself, we used to do weddings and birthdays and things like that. But it was very much personality-led. So good evening, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to tonight. I'm doing the DJing tonight, and happy birthday to so-and-so. If you've got any requests, come and see me. And he put some music on. I said, this is especially for Mary. She's sitting down the front there enjoying another ice cream, aren't you, Mary? And it was all a bit like that. Now, I don't think they pick up microphones, most of these DJs now. It's very, very different. Very different. Oh, Steve doesn't do all the social medias, not one up. Okay, well, I'll try and get some pictures onto there for you, Steve, all right, on a future programme. Good. Yesterday, I went to the bank yesterday. and then we had so much to do yesterday. Really, that's why there was no show. I find, and I get up later. I get up later on Saturdays and Mondays. And is it Mondays? Tuesdays. After I've done the long drive, you see. So, for example, Fridays, I leave here at about 4 o'clock. Well, not about. I leave here bang on 4 o'clock on a Friday, and I drive into London and I do my job in King. What's that noise? Oh, it's a dog. Oh, I think my neighbours might be here for a couple of days. Could be them. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, I've lost my place now. What was I just saying then? 10% chance of rain. Now, I might cycle over to you after the show, actually. I don't know yet. Oh, my God, Thomas, the longest bike ride's been on was 48 kilometres. How many miles is that? Is that like about 40 miles? Kilometres, miles? I don't know how that works out. I always get a bit confused with metric and imperial going for. Oh, talking of metric and imperial, I tell you what, that's just come into my mind now. You know the price of petrol at the moment? Generally in the Tesco's you can get about 126, 127 or Asda. The average price now seems to be about 130, 132. I went past the BP station. It was either the A1M or the M1 on Friday night. That's it, on the way home. Oh, sorry, on the way to work. How much? Go and have a guess. 152.9. I kid you not. That was the BP garage. It was either on the M1 or the A1M on the way in. So the average price at the moment, 132, 152.9 at the BP garage on the motorway. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. What that really is daylight robbery, isn't it? I mean, you must be absolutely on your last legs to want to go in there and fill up with your petrol. Shocking. Anyway, so as I was just telling you, so I leave here at 4 o'clock. I drive to work. I get there at about 7:30, and I do my karaoke job. I finish there at 12 on a Friday, and then I go home. So I get home about 2 o'clock. About 1:30 in the morning. I have something to eat. By the time I get to bed, it's like 2:30, 2:45. And then Saturday morning, I don't wake up until about 9:30 now. I've noticed that. And it's the same when I come up here. So when I come up here, I leave my house, again, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right? Because that's an earlier start on the Mondays. I get to work about 6:30. I start 7:30, finishes at 11. I drive up here. I get here a little bit earlier on a Monday. It's not so bad with the traffic. Saturday night is terrible with the traffic coming out of London. Oh, that's at 12 o'clock at night. But I leave at 11 o'clock, 11:15, about 11:15. I like to be out fairly quickly on a Monday if I've got the long drive ahead of me. So I try and get out quickly. Usually in the car about 11:15. Get here about 1:45, something like that. Have my dinner, go to bed, and then I don't wake up for Tuesday until 9 o'clock. And funnily enough, I was talking to my nephew Gary about this because he had a long drive yesterday from here, Lincolnshire to Yorkshire. They're on holiday at the moment. I go and join them tomorrow. And they didn't go out last night because they were tired after the long journey. So I think a long car journey does tire you out, doesn't it? It really did. So that's why you're not seeing a sort of an early show on a Saturday, or sometimes no show at all. And the same with the Friday. I'm simply getting up too late to do it. I could set the alarm, but you know what? You don't mind, do you? An occasional show not happening here or not happening there. Thomas, it's a 30-mile cycle. Okay, Thomas, that's not too bad. I think from here to my sister's house is about a 10-mile cycle. It's about an hour. It's about an hour on the bicycle, but you have to remember, of course, it's an hour back as well, and that catches you out. Because of course, an hour on a bike, and the bike I've got here, which I bought from someone just down the road. He had a selection of bikes outside his house. Cost me 28 quid, but there's no suspension. So let me tell you, it does hurt your arse. It does hurt your arse. I'm going banging up and down on some of these roads, but the roads are dead quiet. You know, they're dead quiet. Now and again, you get a great big blooming tractor coming the other way, so you just pull off the road. It's a lovely cycle. It's an absolutely gorgeous cycle along the River Witham, which is that's what I cycle along. You see here, yes, That's where. So I'd come around here, I'd come around there, and go that way towards my sister's. It's the most beautiful cycle. And as I sit here, the sun's coming out there. So that's it. Roy, any wedding DJs available for Chris and Ronnie's wedding day? We would never get married. Are you serious, Roy? We don't fancy each other. I went out with him about 28 years ago. Never again, mate. And then I got to tell you, I held the candle for another 16 years waiting for another opportunity. And he never gave it to me. He never gave it to me. Now, I just don't fancy him, so that wouldn't happen anymore. What's the point in marrying someone if you don't fancy him? You know, you've got to look at them and thinking, well, I don't. No! If you're going to marry someone, you've got to have that bit of poor right at the beginning, haven't you? Otherwise, what's the point? Adrian says, have you seen the prices of cakes in Kensington High Street? Well, what did you expect? Kensington High Street? You'll have to take out a mortgage if you want a tea and cake there, mate. He said, you sneeze, it will disappear. Very disappointed. How dare they? Oh, stop moaning and spend some of that bloody money, Adrian. What's wrong with you, mate? Thomas says, average gas prices here are above $3.50 a gallon. Are you in the States, Thomas? I can't remember now. Whereabouts are you? Whereabouts are you? Get down, Shep. Where are you, Thomas? I can't remember. California. California. California, here I come. You got a Disney there, haven't you? I've not been to that one. Now, as you can see, the sun's just come out now. Has the light changed on my face? Oh, that's beautiful. I'll tell you what. I had a load of more story to tell you, but I think I've run out of time, really. I want to go up to my sister's now. What did I tell you? I'll just finish off what I was saying to you then. So, as I say, I was busy yesterday. I went to Waitrose and Boots the Chemist, went to the bank, Aldi, had some lunch, chips and beans yesterday, Slimmers World chips and beans, which were absolutely delicious. Then I filled out that Boots survey that I told you about, had a sleep, packed my bags, put them in the car. I always seem to take too much I keep bringing up food. It's when I go on holiday, generally it's a caravan holiday as well. And as I say, it is the next few days I'm up at a caravan at Haven Holidays in Primrose Valley in Yorkshire. And I always seem to take too much food up and I have to bring it all back again. It's like I'm terrified I'm going to run out of food. And it's never going to happen. There's even a shop on the site. You can't run out of anything. I always seem to take so much food. In fact, the call box I've got with the yoghurts and things like that, and it was so packed I couldn't even get the lid on the top. Do you do that? Anyone else take your own food when they go, oh, I'm terrible going abroad. I'm all right in the States and I'm all right in Australia. And if it's anywhere else, I take my own. I went to Barbados once. I took tins of beans and sausages, almost a whole suitcase full of food, because I was worried about eating any of that foreign stuff. You won't catch me touching the Chinese or anything like that. So there we are. That was my day yesterday. Roy says, wondering if Chris will ever what? Up a lamp or something to hide that crease in the picture. No, there's nothing I can do about that because it goes like that. This is not flat, this wall. Look, the wall's not flat. There's nothing I can do about that. The light reflects on it and there's absolutely nothing I can do about that crease in the picture other than to just cut it and then it wouldn't go across. So that's what that is. The wall is like that. It's like that. It's not like that. It's not straight. It's like that. And that's why there's a crease there. Many do get sick abroad. Yes, they do. A lot of people do. You do often hear people that have got food poisoning or something like that abroad, and it's a bit funny, really. Anyway, we didn't get any news stories done today, but never mind. We've had a good old chat on the show today. I'll tell you what I may do while I'm away. Unfortunately, I can only do it on one platform. So as most of you watch a show on Facebook, it would be on there. I might do a little show while I'm up there. I could do a live show while I'm up there because the kids go to bed, at night, sort of around about 9 o'clock. And then you kind of go back to the caravan. It's a bit early and I just watch the telly. I might be able to do a couple of live shows or a couple of live shows up there, but it would only be on Facebook Live, with a camera in front of me like that. So keep an eye out. If you're up on the Facebook, make sure you've got that notification setting turned on, so We may do that while I'm up there. Okay, it won't be YouTube. No, it'll only be on Facebook Live, that one. You don't need to be a Facebook Live friend of mine to watch those, because everything I do is in the public domain. So it's facebook.com/Chris Reardon UK. Keep an eye out on that, all right? A cardboard cutout of Ronnie would hide the crease. I don't need him there, dear. I don't. He's very pleased. I bought him a load of rocks from Skegness last week, didn't I? Did you see them? All sorts of strange flavours. Pizza flavour, fish and chips flavour. Honest, garlic bread rock. I've no idea what it tasted like. I just gave it to him. Alrighty, let's do today's birthdays. And happy birthday today to the extremely talented Adora Dix. She's a drag queen. The most wonderful costumes she makes. And she's old school drag queen as well. So happy birthday to Adora Dix. William Murray today is a young 70 years old today. Good morning, William. Long time since I saw you. Happy birthday. Ynnick Sheppers is 32 years old on this Sunday. Julia Richardson, good morning. 53 to you. Darren James, happy birthday. Simon Stevens, he was in Central Station last night. A lovely, lovely person. He's reached a big 40. You wouldn't think he was 40. He looks about 30, to be fair. He did the Slimmest World, and he was a fat lad. He won't mind me telling you this. He ain't anymore. A lot of us aren't anymore. We've done the Slimmest World, and it worked. Okay, mine's been creeping up. It's creeping back down again now, I'm pleased to tell you. So happy birthday to Simon. Congratulations on losing all that weight. You got there way before me. So happy birthday to you for today, Simon, and nice to see you yesterday. Harish Raju, good morning. Happy birthday to you. Prince Jordan today is 26 years old today. Happy birthday. And Alex Herbert as well is a birthday on this Sunday. We had some birthdays yesterday. As we didn't do a show yesterday, I will do yesterday's birthdays as well while we're sitting here. Where are we now? There we go. Duncan Pritchard. Good morning, Duncan. Last time I saw you was in Chariots. My God, that's about 10 years ago now. Do you remember you were passed out? 43 years old. Happy birthday, Duncan. He's a lovely lad. He used to come along to my Black Cap nights when I used to DJ at the Black Cap, and he used to be standing up there and we'd have a chat together, didn't you, Duncan? Happy birthday to you, all right? Nice to be seeing you soon. Michelle Smith, another wonderful, wonderful person who I worked with at Belushi's in both Hammersmith and London Bridge as well. Happy birthday to you, Michelle. She doesn't work in a bar anymore. She's moved on. She's a lovely, lovely lady from Scotland. Happy birthday, Michelle. Dale Drury, someone else I've worked with in both Norwood in London. I think it was Norwood or Norbury. Norwood. Can't remember, at Club Ego, and also at the Bulldog in Brighton, and that dreadful place that I worked. What was it? Valley's Bar. Oh, that was awful. I hated it in there. I absolutely hated it. It just didn't suit me at all. But happy birthday to you, Dale. A young 39 years old today, aren't you? He's always drop dead gorgeous. He was, Dale Drury. Good morning, Dale. Hello to Jereon Hebrecht, I think it is, 46 years old today. Happy birthday, Jereon. All right. Guillermo. Sometimes we see Guillermo on here occasionally. He pops up and says hello. Happy birthday to you, sir. Jessica Martinez, 33 years old today. Happy birthday, Jessica. Bob Ellis. Again, someone else who I work with. Bob Ellis, a place in just around the corner from Central Station, weren't you? Now, what was it called? Oh, gosh. I believe it's a restaurant now, isn't it? I often go past it. And I remember, I think I only DJ'd once. It didn't quite work out, did it? I think we did a Tuesday night and no one turned up, if I remember rightly. But thanks anyway, Bob. Happy birthday to you. Vida Las Vegas. Happy birthday to Vida Las Vegas. And Phil Marriott, who is a DJ as well. A happy birthday to you. So happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Have a wonderful day, boys and girls. Enjoy your birthdays, or if it was yesterday. That's it then. Roy says, oh, I've read that. I've read that already, haven't I? Yep, we're up on the messages. So we'll leave it there, boys and girls. Thanks ever so much for joining us. The next live show on all the platforms will be probably on Friday morning. But before that, I might try and do one or two little live Facebook videos, and we could have a little chat on there, perhaps, if I have time. No promises there at all, okay? So I'm not going to sit there and say, because if you say that, people say, oh, you said this and it didn't happen. Well, I'm not promising. It's not promised. Just if I've got nothing else to do, I could switch the old Facebook Live thing on and do something like that direct into the phone. But you can only do one platform at a time for that. Or at least that's what I've found so far. Traffic. Thank you, Ray. It was indeed traffic. Thank you very much, Ray. Traffic. I worked at Traffic in Islington, King's Cross, Islington, and another place, Regents, which was run by a bloke called Brian, who also has an agency. He died, didn't he, a couple of years ago, Brian, who run a little entertainment agency as well there. All right, Weird City Citizen is waiting for the closing video, aren't you? Because it's relatively new, the closing video. I only remade this about 3 or 4 weeks ago now. So if you haven't seen it before, I hope you enjoy it. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Have a good day and indeed a good week. I'll see you again, definitely live on Friday morning, possibly if you're on Facebook Live a little bit before that. Bye-bye now.